So what can you do? Before we go into this, I think it's really important to know that, many of my colleagues, Republicans, even Democrats, it's very hard sometimes for them to be fully frank with everyone about the fact that, again, you're talking about health care, you're talking about Department of Education, you're talking about, today I just was at Earth Day with EPA workers and everyone, is sometimes you're going to see folks say, oh, they're not cutting that, but they're cutting the federal workforce that runs the program. So pay attention to that. They may not, we're not touching Social Security, but then they're cutting 50% of the Social Security Administration staff. So when you call, it's delayed. For instance, VA, I have the John Dingell VA, where's a lot of John Dingell VA hospital, and many of my folks go to that hospital specifically. And I can tell you, I have a gentleman, a veteran, outpatient surgery, outpatient care. They called him because they got rid of all the surgical tech folks. He's waiting another 3 months before he can come. It's not like people can stop being sick. It's not like people can stop, again, whatever the issues and challenges they have. And again, these are promises we made to our constituents that we would have their back. And this is our money. Like, I hate that we don't see it that way, but it is ours. If there's anything that I think the American people want us to support, is making sure, again, nobody plans to get sick. Nobody plans to have a disability. Nobody plans to come from serving our country with, exposure to toxins. Nobody plans any of that. But they come back and we make a promise that we take care of each other. And again, this is, them breaking that promise. What can you do? There's a lot you can do. One, you showed up. Thank you for that. This is overwhelming because it's hard to believe it's only been, 12, 13 weeks of this. I know. It's so hard to believe, but this is a lot in 13 weeks. But one thing we know is we need 3 to 4 Republicans. What can we do? We can organize our backyard. That's why I'm here. I said, if there's one thing Michigan can do is get one of the Republicans to create that wall that is needed. The hope that I have is in the Senate, when that budget proposal passed out of the House, and it went to the Senate. Again, one of the Missouri senators, who I don't even I was surprised he was doing it. He's from Missouri, and he introduced an amendment. Almost, I know, Jeff, I try not to put their name out there. So, because he did say something else. So one of the things to know is, even when he offered that, I was like, this is great. We're gonna be able to take this in the Senate. And they almost got there. I think we lost that amendment, and it was like a hands-off Medicaid. Don't touch Medicaid. It was a beautiful amendment, y'all. And in there, again, it was to protect Medicaid, and we did almost get there. I think Susan Collins and some other folks supported it. And unfortunately, I think we were 1 or 2 votes different, too, away from making that happen. So then it comes back to the House. I was there. We were supposed to vote on it on a Wednesday or Thursday. It was a Wednesday. That we waited for 2.5 hours on the floor, and I said, wow, they must not have the votes. This is great. I know, I was excited. And then I was like, oh, they don't have the votes. They don't have the votes. I don't know what happened overnight. You've probably seen on the news, I'm sure people got called into the principal's office, the fascist office. And I can tell you what happened, I think, is people change their mind. Because I'll tell you, people were getting quoted publicly. I didn't vote for that. No way. Heck no. And then all of a sudden they pulled it up that following Thursday. And I was like, Thursday, but it only got passed from 214 to 216. 2 vote difference. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. And if we can, again, this is a person, your member of Congress wants to run for governor. This is Medicaid, again, is impacting Michigan folks from all over. And so I reiterate to you all, if there's something we can do, we have control over, is to organize, and the Macomb County, all of you in the 10th Congressional District can deliver 1 Republican. You are getting closer in saving our country.